Now, Darren, let's change the pace a bit. I've got to talk to you about one of our favourite topics, Meghan Markle. Look, things are not going quite well for her. First, she rebranded her...
Oh my God, it's happening. Meghan Markle's carefully curated image is cracking, and not just a little crack. We're talking full-on shatter mode. The woman who spent years presenting herself as this misunderstood duchess, a modern feminist icon, a victim of harsh royal treatment. Well, she's now being tied to something very dark. We're talking Jeffrey Epstein level dark. Yep, her past has come roaring back, and it's not just whispers anymore. It's evidence, it's confirmation, and it's absolutely damning. Turns out Meghan wasn't just brushing elbows with the elite. She was deep in the world of yacht parties filled with the who's who of Epstein's social circle. This isn't just scandalous, it's potentially career-ending.
And to, as ever, spare us. She then faces legal action due to trademark issues over its logo, and now she's been accused of copying Hollywood icons.
People used to say Meghan had some shady connections, but those were always waved off as just mean-spirited gossip. Not anymore. Now there's an actual whisper trail linking her to these exclusive, ultra-private yacht parties. You know the kind. No photos, no press, only the most powerful people invited. And guess what? She wasn't just a passive guest. No, insiders say she worked her way into those spaces. Meghan's PR team is reportedly spiraling behind the scenes, because this isn't just about where she went, it's about what she's desperately tried to erase. And now people are finally watching, finally questioning. Back then, there were always whispers. Meghan being seen at luxury parties aboard yachts gliding through the Mediterranean, it was brushed off as tabloid trash. But surprise, those whispers were real.
Being Princess Diana's look. Gee, Darren, drama seems to follow Meghan everywhere, but I've got to ask you, is she a cheap copycat? Is she simply clueless?
Now we've got former yacht staff and event organizers going on record, confirming Meghan was a regular face on the ultra-elite party circuit in the early 2000s. And don't get it twisted, these weren't just your average Hollywood mixers. These were locked-door, invite-only gatherings in Monaco, Cannes, and Saint-Tropez. You don't just stumble into those parties, you climb your way into them.
Businesswoman.
Oh, I don't think she's a smart businesswoman. In fact, I think every investment that anyone has ever given her, whether it be Spotify, Netflix, or whatever else, it hasn't worked out very well for them. You know, originality and Meghan Markle, they go together a bit like Prince Harry.
Think billionaires, oligarchs, European royals, and mega media moguls. That was the crowd. And Meghan, according to one former crew member, she was part of the atmosphere. Let that sink in. That phrase isn't just vague, it's loaded. In those elite social circles where reputations are currency, Meghan's presence wasn't a coincidence. It was intentional. And no, before you ask, she was never pictured next to Epstein himself, but
some stream of independent thought, you know? You mentioned it there, that she gives a lifestyle brand the most uninspired name imaginable, and it's after she was trying to flog this expensive jam with a name that sounds like a cheap perfume from a dollar store. You know,
here's where it all gets too close for comfort. The same high-profile names that vacationed with Epstein, they also showed up at those same yacht parties Meghan attended. They were in the same photos, on the same guest lists, part of the same intimate social calendars. Ghislaine Maxwell, a recurring name on those yacht manifests. She was there. Meghan was there. And if you think that's just coincidence, you're not paying attention. These weren't 1,000-person charity events. These were tiny, exclusive circles of influence. Meghan didn't just wander into those rooms, she mapped her way in. And now she's acting like none of it ever happened. A former Hollywood friend, someone who actually lived with Meghan during those hustle years, has come forward with receipts. According to her, Meghan wasn't just ambitious. She was strategic, calculated. If someone had a connection, a yacht, or power, Meghan found a way into their orbit, the friend spilled. She would offer to organize, volunteer, anything, just to secure that invite. She wasn't networking for fun, she was climbing. Every smile had a purpose. Every introduction was a move. And where did that climb begin? Boats, beaches, private gatherings, and yes, the very spaces now tied to some of the darkest scandals of our time. When Meghan reinvented herself as the royal underdog, she practically wiped her entire digital footprint, deleted Instagram, vanished her blog, scrubbed photos from exotic getaways and suspicious yacht weekends. Poof, gone. But the internet never forgets. Digital investigators dug up geotags, metadata, everything. Photos taken from Monte Carlo, Cannes, Amalfi Coast, exactly where Epstein's crew was known to hang out during their European summers. Why did those photos disappear right after Meghan got engaged to Prince Harry? Why has she never once acknowledged those trips? If it's all so innocent, why hide it? According to Palace insiders, Meghan's past did come up during those hush-hush background checks before her engagement. And guess what?
Lying about me all the time. Like, don't you ever feel like just being like, just leave me alone. Like, let me show you. Is there a part of you that ever is just like, just leave me alone?
Peaks and valleys.
Peaks and valleys.
You know? No, I mean, like,
Very elegant.
but it's true. Of course, I've gone through those chapters and you do a lot of work. You do a lot of self-work and go, what's the why? Tap it.
They knew. The palace knew. "We saw red flags," said one royal aide. But instead of protecting the monarchy's image, they chose to protect Harry's heart. "Don't rock the boat," was the order. And so they looked away. They gambled the crown's integrity to spare Harry pain. And now, that decision is blowing up in their faces. The monarchy is tangled in Meghan's unraveling past, a scandal they saw coming and ignored.
Oh,
I love Serena. She's like my girl crush. Talk about successful entrepreneur, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She's doing so well. She said
she's
to me
killing. I mean, she's
years ago-
literally, it's amazing that she can have like that type of career and then this type of business.
Based and Bougie, what's your take on this?
The minute I hear people
Because let's be real, Meghan's image as a feminist, a philanthropist, a victim, it's all part of a bigger act, one that's finally collapsing. Those secrets she buried beneath yacht waves and guest lists are clawing their way up to the surface. And Meghan, she's panicking. She's not controlling the story anymore. Her shiny image, cracking, fast.
because I'm just
That was such a diversionary technique, wasn't it? It's like, oh, I
It's
don't
just
want to talk
that-
about this, so what's your sign? Who gives a
Yeah,
damn?
it's just like that Hollywood, very fake conversation. Oh, my star sign, are you a Libra? Oh my gosh, this is why I do this, because then they just blame everything on their star signs. Second of all, notice how she asked her, what would you do differently? And she said, I would get
And now she's everywhere, but not in the way you'd think. Suddenly, Meghan's popping up in cozy home videos, baking cookies with the kids, smiling softly while talking about healing and wellness. She's launching vague little charity projects about mental health, self-care, and motherhood. But come on, none of this is spontaneous. It's a PR script, a playbook. People inside Hollywood are whispering her team's in full-blown crisis mode. One publicist even said, "This is classic damage control. Flood the media with fluff, make people forget the scandal." But this time, it's not working.
you. And what does she continue to do? She answers the question by blaming everyone else. Meghan Markle is fake. And speaking of telling the truth, when is she finally going to tell the truth that she is not black? As a black woman, I am offended that this person is cosplaying a black person. You are not black, Meghan Markle. Please tell the truth about that.
It's so interesting, Based and Bougie, because in this
Because people aren't dumb anymore. The public isn't buying the distraction act. We're past the days where some cute vegan muffin recipe makes us forget about who you were hanging out with on secret yachts. Now people are asking real questions, and they want real answers. This isn't just about Meghan going to a few shady parties. It's about how aggressively she's tried to hide them. The lies, the erasure, the way she turned her past into a glossy brand, selling a story that never matched reality. Because hiding the truth? That's not just image control. That's deception.
tries to go down this narrative that she lost out on parts because of the fact that she had a black mother. And it's like utter bullshit. Her CV listed herself as Caucasian, and she even admitted that, and this was in the early days after she left the royal family, she admitted that she'd never experienced racism whatsoever.
Royal experts are speaking up. Commentators who once gave her the benefit of the doubt, they're done. Not because she went to parties, but because she's lied about it. She's silenced people. She's weaponized her own revisionist history. She didn't just hide her past, said one expert. She rewrote it, then punished anyone who dared question the rewrite. That's not bravery. That's manipulation. And now it's catching up with her, because no matter how many times she cries victim, the real story is out. She built her brand on being empowered, but she was really just playing the game and playing it hard. She used the very system she now pretends to criticize. Powerful men, elite access, strategic charm. Critics are now saying what many have suspected for years: Meghan didn't break the system. She used it, benefited from it, and then acted like she was never part of it. And her silence on the Epstein-linked socialites she once partied alongside? Deafening. This is a woman who's never shied away from calling others out, but when it comes to her own past, total silence. And that silence speaks volumes. It's not bravery, it's branding. She wasn't a victim of the system, she was a product of it. Then she hit delete on her history and rebranded. One author said it best: "You can't claim victimhood after benefiting from a corrupt structure. That's not noble, it's dishonest." And now the mask is slipping. So no, there's no legal case against her yet. She hasn't been charged, no subpoenas, no lawsuits. But this isn't about courtrooms. This is about the court of public opinion. And Meghan, she's losing. Being near Epstein's world isn't a crime. But lying about it, pretending you weren't even there, scrubbing every photo and post, that's not innocent. That's suspicious. Because if you built your fame on being honest, relatable, and real, then the moment your truth comes under fire, people will dig deeper. It's not the yacht parties that broke trust. It's the cover-up. And now, the people who once stood by her, they're walking away. Netflix, not happy. Meghan's content hasn't delivered like they hoped. And now with this swirling controversy, they're reconsidering future deals. Quietly, of course. But trust, behind those closed doors, decisions are being made. Her new cooking show? Put on pause, maybe permanently. Even Oprah, her loudest, most powerful cheerleader, has gone radio silent. No statements, no tweets, not a peep. And Oprah never stays silent unless there's something big happening. People close to her say she's reassessing everything. Not because she hates Meghan, but because the risk is too high. When the Queen of Talk and the King of Streaming both start backing away, that's not a PR hiccup, that's a crisis. What started out as a fairy tale reinvention has now turned into a slow-motion implosion. Meghan's obsession with controlling her story, her image, her legacy, it backfired. Because secrets have a nasty habit of coming to light. Always. Authenticity isn't something you can fake forever. You can delete posts, you can block people, you can silence critics. But the truth, it always finds a way. And as more of Meghan's past comes crawling out of the shadows, one question is echoing louder than ever. Who is Meghan Markle? Really? Meghan Markle,